Our poet for today is Wilfred Owen. Born in Shropshire in England, he left school in 1911, served as an assistant to a vicar in Oxfordshire. He was teaching English in France, strangely enough, when the war was already raging. He returned to England in 1915 so that he could enlist, and very soon found himself dispatched back to France. But this time, it wasn't in front of school children, it was to the front lines. 2 years later, he suffered shell shock, and he recovered in Craiglockhart War Hospital. It was here that he met with other poets of his age, Siegfried Sassoon and Robert Graves. Such was the war that once more he was returned to combat, and sadly only 1 week before armistice itself was signed, he was killed. Life in the trenches, the horrors that were experienced, these are the things that feature in his poems. He references those who sit at great distance, back home, in the comfort of their armchairs, surrounded by the luxuries that peace affords to them, as they speak of a generation of young men who are losing their lives to war. His poem that we read is entitled Futility. Move him into the sun. Gently its touch awoke him once. At home, whispering of fields half sown, always it woke him, even in France, until this morning and the snow. If anything might rouse him now, the kind old sun will know. Think how it wakes the seeds, woke once the clays of a cold star. Our limbs, so dear achieved, our sides full nerved, still wars too hard to stir. Was it for this day clay grew tall? Oh, what made fatuous sunbeams toil to break earth's sleep at all? The image that's in our minds, an unnamed soldier lying dead in the snow. It causes the speaker, the author of the poem, to reassess the values of life. Owen's other poems contain very much violence and imagery, but this poem, it's a bit more calm. It's a bit more resigned. It mourns the futility of life in the face of death. The mournful, doubtful, and even discouraging tones shine through these words. But truth be told, that shouldn't surprise us. When we place this piece in its historical context, these are the qualities that would make sense. A British soldier, World War I, the trenches, shells, gas attacks, all around, surrounded by death. Regardless of how many sunny days there were during the war, death dominated the mind. A perspective that certainly manifested itself in his poem, Futility. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Amen.